Hey beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for all the support, as I'll normally say. I'm so appreciative, and I'm so happy that I have people subscribing, liking, and also commenting under my videos. It really means a lot to have all this feedback. Thank you so much again. Yeah, today's video is just going to be a really laid back one, a chilled one, and hence why I have my smoothie with me just to drink. So I'm going to be talking about 6 things that I wish I knew before coming here, or I wish I paid more attention to before coming here. It's so yum. This has strawberries, mango, peaches, and I think pineapple. Yeah. So it came in like a fruit bag, and I just put everything inside, and I just blended it with a little bit of water and some juice. So let's get straight into the video. Six things I wish I knew before moving to LA. So I don't think anyone knows, but if you do know, I currently live in LA, Los Angeles, and I moved here in September. This is so good. Number 1 is securing a house before you get here, an apartment, a house, whatever thing you want to do before you move to another country. That's one thing I had a big problem with, because I was across the world, I was in Milton Keynes in England when I was looking for housing and trying to sort out everything, and then I went back to Nigeria, which is where I'm from. And I went back to Nigeria, and I was still looking for housing at the moment, and it was just a very I can't even explain. I think I'm just going to make another video on actually, looking for housing in LA, because that story is it was intense. So yeah, it took me so long, and I was lucky because I found my now flatmate Ekwa. Shout out to you, my girl. And she really helped me, and when we did this all together, so it was kind of a little bit better than just me actually looking for a house on my own. If not, that would have just been ridiculous, because looking for a place where you can't actually go there or actually view the place, it's just stressful. And then we just realized that the places that they put online, there were not even that many places, and then another thing was that LA is extremely expensive. So the rent I was seeing, I was like, your girl cannot afford that. And it was like, I'm coming from England, where the rent is not crazy one bit, except if you're in London. But aside from that, even when I was in University of Sheffield for my undergrad, my rent for a studio was about 400 and something pounds a month. Meanwhile, people in America are paying like $2,000 for a studio, literally a studio. It's ridiculous. So yeah, that was a struggle, and I wish I was able to be there, or I wish I knew better about the application process, and actually needing to have a guarantor, because you obviously don't have a social security number, and just so many things that were so stressful. Another thing that I wish I knew was to actually ask as many questions as possible. You need, don't be that kind of person that you don't want to bother the people who you're talking to, or the housing agents. You're going to live there, so bother them. I did not ask so many questions, what's the amount of security deposit I'm meant to put in, how much money do I need to pay once I get there, about all the bills. There were just so many things, even bed bugs, just not asking. And then we found a place, and then as we were about to sign all the documents, they now told us, oh, by the way, there were bed bugs in the place. Trust me, I think I'm probably going to make a video on this situation, because it was intense. So you actually just asking so many questions, and that whole housing process, I wish I knew better. The second thing I wish I knew better about was making new friends. I find myself I'm actually quite friendly, or I can be friendly, but at the same time it was I needed to make more of an effort, because I was going to a new place. So I should have actually tried going to Facebook pages, and checking around Instagram who's in LA, and just trying to make connections before going there, to make the transition better, because moving somewhere where you don't know anyone at all is going to be really difficult. And I didn't have anyone coming with me, and I was really lucky that I had my boyfriend meet me up and actually help me through that process, because I would have been so I wouldn't have known what to do. But yeah, another thing I was lucky about was that, because I had already become friends with my now flatmate as we're looking for housing, so she was my friend, and I had her when I moved in, so it was a little bit better. And some certain things where I needed to go to buy some stuff for myself or for the house, she helped me. She had a car, and you know, she was very, very helpful, and I'm forever grateful for that. So just that, like, you know, having to actually make so much of an effort to make that new connection between friends, and it's really, really important, because you're just going to end up finding yourself like you're going to be really lonely, and you wouldn't, you know, have anyone to have anyone to talk to and, you know, hang out with, except you just want to stay in your house. And then the third thing was paying attention to relationships at home. This is important because you're going to a new place, you don't really know anyone, and I find that I needed to pay more attention to people at home. Like, I had some times where, like, you know, I wouldn't talk to like my family or like my cousins and friends as much because, you know, I'm busy trying to sort out things or like getting myself sorted out. But then I realized that, you know what, I needed to have that strong connection and even a better relationship with them, because I needed that support, and I needed to, you know that I still had people who, if anything happens to me, that I can still rely on. And that's an important thing that anyone moving to a new place should actually keep in mind, that you should try to even make the relationship you already have with people back home stronger, because that's going to help in the long run. The fourth thing in LA that I wish I knew was that transportation is ridiculous. The transportation here is shit. I don't know how to drive. I was learning, but I don't have a license. I do not know how to drive. I do not have a car, and I'm in LA. So I have to rely on transportation. The bus is not that bad, but then when they can be delays, they can waste time. It's just very horrible. Plus the traffic in LA, it's like, I don't even know which one is even worse, the traffic in LA or the traffic in Lagos. Actually, the traffic in Lagos is worse. Like, nothing beats that, but it's bad. And then you have to rely on like the bus timing, which is always off, and then you don't want to actually spend your money using Uber and Lyft all the time, because it would get expensive, like it would add up. So it's just something that's keep in mind, that if you're moving to a certain place, look at how, you know, the transportation system is. Look at if majority of the people there use cars and how things go on, because that's something important to have in mind, because you are going to be stuck if you don't actually have that. Because coming from England and then London, for example, where you have underground, overground, DLR, everything, so it's like very easy for you to move around and you don't really actually need a car. But then, like, where I stay or where my house is in Milton Keynes, it's more of the sense where you do need a car, but then the bus system is actually really good, so it was not really necessary. And I had my cousin who drove, so I was cool. But then, like, yeah, that's another thing. You just need to make sure that you check the transportation system, you check how things work in the place that you're moving to. And number 5, which I think is the most important here, except from the housing, is culture shock. See, I always thought culture shock was rubbish. I thought it was bullshit. Like, I thought culture shock was rubbish. I thought culture shock didn't exist until I actually came to LA. Trust me, it's a thing. I'm used to like the whole fast-paced life. I'm used to actually getting things done. If I want to meet someone at 9 o'clock, I'm meeting you at 9 o'clock. If I want to do something, I'm getting it done. But I find that in LA, most of the time, they're so laid back. It's like the weather just makes people so, like, I won't say lazy, but just like, yeah, just grab a coffee and do that. They're really laid back here, and it's just totally different from like the fast-paced life I'm used to. And there's some certain things and certain ways that, you know, things are done here that it's like, was a real shock to me. Like, even like I was telling my friend the other day that even just writing your date in this country was giving me a hard time, because they write the date month first and then day in the middle and then year. Meanwhile, I'm used to day first. So I write on like important forms, because like the first few weeks I was here, I was like signing papers, writing forms, doing all those things. I was always like misdating things, and then I would have to do it again or write a new, like fill in a new form, and it was really frustrating. It's just little things that actually hits me, and I had to like take a step back, and I was just like, you know what, this is actually serious. Like, this culture shock thing is real. And the last thing I want to talk about today is safety. You know, I feel like some things I'm saying, I probably need to make like separate videos for them. Like, it actually is, you know, bigger than what I'm actually saying. And when I come to this safety part, it's going to like, it really hits me, because it derives back from like the stereotype of how like the Western world, like the, you know, the Western side of the world, England, America, and all those places, they tend to make third world countries look like we are, you know, it's unsafe, it's dirty, we live in huts, it's just horrible. But meanwhile, like, people in that side of the world just have that whole, you know, they have that idea or the ideology of like this is exactly how it is back home, but then coming from Nigeria, that's not how it is back home. Like, it's different. We do have proper houses, we have things working how you would have in this country. So it's like how like the world plays it, and then it just like, you know, gives you a picture, paints a picture as to how a place isn't. And it's the same thing with LA. Everyone has that picture of LA being like so beautiful, the palm tree, everywhere is like nice, the weather is amazing, it's, you know, it's perfect, it's LA, like everyone wants to come to LA. But it is not like that. Like, I'm going to do a video where I actually, like, probably something like, you know, showing you the real LA or something. I mean, you do have places like, you know, if where it's like decent and nice, like probably in, I don't know, probably like if you go to like Beverly Hills or whatever, or some parts of like LA where it's like more residential, I guess. But like the West LA or the west side, or like the main parts, like the city, if I should put it that way. Like they like everyone wants to come to LA and wants to see Hollywood Boulevard, but it's actually like it's actually just dirty, it's just messy. Like, that was just one thing that just like hits me, was to see like how the homelessness in LA is. It's like, it's actually a very big problem that needs to be addressed, and I feel like everyone just brushes it off, or the people here brush it off. Like, the government, they don't really care. They like make other places look nice, and some places it's just like, yeah, all the homeless people can just like stay here. And it's like it's really unfortunate, because you would be walking the streets and you would encounter some things that shouldn't even like, you know, be there. Like, it was something that really hits me moving here, because like the first week I was here, I was verbally assaulted by at least 2 homeless people. Like, right now I have a pepper spray on my key ring because of how scared I felt, because it was something I wasn't used to. It was something I did not expect in LA, and it was something I got. So yeah, that was just something that really made me think that, you know, they make certain places in America and other places look like it's so perfect, it's so beautiful, and that's the same way that they make places in third world countries, in Nigeria, look so awful and look like it's, you know, we're suffering. And it's ridiculous. Like, this needs to stop. I know this video is not meant to be like so serious, but I just had to, you know, add that in there and point it in that, you know, this is an issue. So yeah, aside from that, I'm starting to like it. I'm starting to really like LA, and I'm liking it at the point where this is meant to be winter and I am hot. So yeah, I really like that. I don't really like the cold that much, like, anyway, so I'm good with the weather. And yeah, I find that there are lots of things to do, and it's getting a little bit better, and I hope that probably in the next month or 2 I'm going to enjoy it more. So yeah, those are like the 6 things that I wish I knew before coming into LA, or I knew while I was moving into LA, and I figured that were important. And I feel like, you know, there are many other things relating to other places that you can be trying to move to, or just in general, just moving from one place to another. You need to be very rigorous with exactly all the information that you need and trying to find out all the facts, because you would get there and you would be confused, and we don't want that. I mean, I've learned my lesson and this is not going to happen. So I just want to let you guys know that if you are out there and you're trying to move somewhere else, please try to find out all the information you can. If you can, make friends online with people who already live in that area. Ask them questions, find out information from them. People tend to be scared to ask questions and seem to bother people. Don't be scared, just do it. And yeah, I hope you all loved this video. I loved making it, and I would love to see you in my next video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a lovely day.